Hello, and welcome to this edition of EB-5 Investment Report. I'm your host, Aimee Rios, and today we are joined by Ching Liu, co-founder of Inland Empire Renewable Energy Regional Center and Executive Vice President of SolarMax Technology, a solar system integrator. IERE is located in downtown Riverside, California, and was designated as a regional center by USCIS in June 2011. Their focus is to help foreign investors immigrate to the United States through the EB-5 program and SolarMax projects, which specialize in second-generation renewable energy sources like solar heating and wind power. Welcome to the program, Ching. Can you tell us why you started Inland Empire Renewable Energy as a regional center?
Well, our regional center was established as such that to help the enterprises to further develop the market. SolarMax was formed the year of 2008. As we all know, that it was formed in a very difficult timing. When we experienced the tightening of the U.S. fundings, therefore, EB-5 was an easy solution.
Now, can you tell us what your first EB-5 offering will be?
Our EB-5 first offering is actually a super renewable energy center located in the center of downtown Riverside. It's a World War II building that has been abandoned for 2 decades. When we first saw the property, we basically fell in love simply because the structure of the building was perfect for solar. It's got the sawtooth roof when the angle facing south that gives you the maximum ultimate generation of solar energy. We have decided to use that as the solar energy facility for our headquarters for SolarMax, so that way we will be able to further develop the market in the Inland Empire area.
What is the relationship between IERE and SolarMax?
Well, SolarMax is an independent incorporation. However, the founders of SolarMax and actually the 4 principals of IERE.
Now, how do you use EB-5 financing with SolarMax and IERE?
Well, that goes to our second offering. Our second offering of IERE is basically utilizing the EB-5 funding. So we provide the EB-5 funding and utilize it as small solar financings for our residential clients. So in other words, it's sort of like a small amount consumer lending, but with the solar-centric.
So it's different from, your regional center is different from a lot of the regional centers that are out there in terms of how you use the EB-5 financing.
Absolutely.
Can you explain that a little more?
Well, our second offering of the IERE is to provide solar loans with relatively very inexpensive interest rate for homeowners who would have otherwise paid $20,000, $30,000 for a solar system. We turn it around, adapting the sort of car payment concept. So instead of paying $20,000, $30,000 for a solar system, we turn it around and convert that into $199 monthly payment. Generally speaking, your monthly payment to SolarMax will be a little smaller than what you otherwise would pay to the utility company.
How are the investors involved in financing this?
Generally, the investor will come in as the limited partners.
Okay.
So in the process of making the credit decisions or underwriting principles, they generally do not get involved with any of the decision-making process.
Do you have investors currently?
Yes, we do.
And how many?
Currently, we have acquired about 30 investors for our second offering.
And how much capital have you raised through these investors?
$15 million so far.
When did you start SolarMax, and was it funded as an EB-5 project?
No, our regional center was established a little different.
Okay.
Our enterprise came way before the regional center. SolarMax actually was founded 2008. As a solar system integrator. However, our IERE regional center was later on approved by USCIS back in October of 2011.
Why did you decide to seek EB-5 as a way to help your business?
EB-5 capital investment actually replaces the tightening of the U.S. banking industry after 2008. When that concept in saying that the regional center was set up is we were hoping to utilize some of the cheaper funding.
How were you introduced to the EB-5 program?
We were actually being introduced by the mayor, Ron Lovich. As SolarMax was formed, we have kept a very, very good relationship with the city governments. And I remember vividly that there's one day he had offered us and introduced us with the concept of regional center. And he basically said, well, Ching, your business will growing anyway. You have increased your employment from 2, when we started with 2 employees, to about 60-some employees back in 2009. And he said that perhaps that SolarMax was a perfect candidate for a regional center setup. So he was the person actually introduced us to the concept.
All right, Ching, you mentioned that you had $15 million in investments, and that means there's going to be about 300 jobs created. Can you explain what these jobs are?
Sure. Well, our job was based on the RIMS 2 methodology, and it was approved by USCIS based on the expenditure model. So in other words, that during the duration of our investors seeking for their permanent residency, our enterprise SolarMax will have to be able to demonstrate a $72 million in expenditure in different categories. For instance, if I would be able to demonstrate $65 million in expenditures in installation, that equates to about 944 jobs, direct and indirect. So overall, if we were able to demonstrate $72 million in overall expenditure, that means that we are indirectly and directly created 1,044 jobs.
Can you explain the RIMS 2 methodology and how that works?
Well, RIMS 2 methodology is the methodology we use in terms of the job counting, direct and indirect jobs. RIMS 2 provides a multiplier according to the industry that you are in. For example, our industries that are being utilized is installation, engineering, administration, sales and marketing, and maintenance and operation. So each category has different multipliers. Among the 5 that I had just mentioned, the installation gives the highest multiplier.
Now, what are some of the indirect jobs that will be created?
For example, the installations, we have 2 in-house teams that consists about 30 employees. As we get busy during the summer session, we would outsource our installation to a local Riverside company, like electricians, the roofers, the workers, the installers, and that would consider our indirect job employment.
Have you had any I-526 approvals?
We do have one since May.
Oh, okay. And you expect to have more?
Yes, we do hopefully expect a lot more. And unfortunately, the USCIS is taking a little longer than anticipated, but we are hopeful that all the filings for I-526 will be eventually approved.
What kind of challenges have you faced with the USCIS in forming your regional center and getting these I-526 approvals?
I think in forming the regional center, the challenge was the time that it took. However, the same challenges again once applied to our investors at their I-526 filing. On the website, as everybody can see, that it takes about 6 to 8 months now, but we have experienced a bit longer than 8 months.
How do you find investors for your EB-5 projects?
We have a marketing team that strategically target countries like China, Taiwan, as well as in Vietnam.
Can you tell us about your third phase of the EB-5 funding and what the future is for Solar Max and IERE?
We would like to further develop the third offering of IERE in terms of developing franchise programs to duplicate what SolarMax has done so far in the 5 years of a business. So we have initially talked about the conceptual franchising programs by utilizing EB-5 fundings, but it's in the works, but we haven't yet developed it yet.
Can you explain the franchise aspect of that and how that would work?
Currently, SolarMax is in development of developing 25 direct stores. Currently, we have 5 stores that's already been developed. We were thinking that after the development of 25 stores, and we can master the program and develop a system, develop a program, accounting systems and HRs and so forth, then we'll be mature enough to develop into some kind of franchising programs. But like I said, it's in the works, but we haven't developed it yet.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Ching.
Thank you for having us.
The goals of IERE and Solar Max are not only to facilitate foreign investors in obtaining their green card, creating jobs, and increasing solar energy awareness, but they are also focused on giving back to the community. Recently, they donated 500 kilowatts of solar panels to the Bourne College of Engineering at the University of California, Riverside, and they have also given a $200,000 fellowship fund for the university's School of Business Administration. I'm Aimee Rios, and I want to thank you for watching this edition of EB-5 Investment Report.